Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to HIMediaTV. I am your host, Evan from HIMediaTV, and welcome back to HIMedia Headlines for October the 19th, 2025. So, today I want to talk about the rumor that allegedly there is currently Xbox PC emulation officially by Xbox in the works. Now, this comes from Windows Central's Jez Corden. He was the same person who also leaked the ROG Ally, the Windows ROG Ally, that they are, the Windows handheld that Microsoft put out. And so this is relatively, something that we could take with a tiny bit more than a grain of salt. But then again, I did report extensively on the Oblivion remaster, and even though I hedged my bets, it's still shadow dropped, surprisingly. Regardless, point is that if this does exist and if this is happening, why? Well, there's a very good chance that there's not going to be another Xbox console in the next cycle. We are currently in an environment where personal PCs and gaming PCs are significantly more ubiquitous. And I think with things like Game Pass and, even the PC version of Ultimate being cheaper, we exist in an environment where Microsoft is shifting its goals. Microsoft doesn't want to compete with PlayStation anymore. They want to compete with Steam. That's why they made a Windows handheld the way they did, to compete with the Steam Deck. That's why they're doing it. Why do they do Game Pass? Well, Steam has such a strong user base and a user base that loves it specifically for all of the things that it offers, from the basic to the granular, and being able to pay a monthly subscription to play all the games you want, at least before they raised the price to $30 was a value proposition that one would argue eclipsed Steam. But now that they are trying to exist more so in the PC space, they are trading one giant opponent for another that, by the way, has outlasted every single company that has tried and failed to usurp it, or at least grab some level of market share. Origin, Uplay, Epic Game Store, all of these have very minor, if not microscopic, market shares of the PC gaming space and PC gaming purchases, because I just want to play. If I'm going to buy your game, I'm just going to buy it on my Steam, so I don't have to open another thing. Like, I don't even care about downloading the Epic Game Store just to get a free game every week. Why would I care? I don't care about that. Now, granted, there are others that feel differently, but I digress. I think Microsoft is looking towards the future. I think that them having such a solid install base, as well as the standardization of Windows 11 by not really supporting any other Windows, which is, by the way, part of the reason I'm thinking and deeply considering moving over to Linux at this point, is fundamentally, at the end of the day, another aspect of why I think they're trying to do this, because standardization of software of software is going to be a huge thing, especially if they're going to be going into the mobile game market, because then hardware is also consideration. Regardless, I think that ultimately Microsoft's a giant company, arguably bigger than Steam. But I don't think that this fight that they're going to pick with Valve is necessarily going to go the way that they think it is. The Epic Game Store Epic Games has and had more money than God, and was even able to beat Apple and Google in court couldn't beat Steam in the market. I guess it remains to be seen what they do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this episode of High Media Headlines for today, October the 19th, 2025. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your listenership. And if you enjoyed this show, watch yesterday's or any of our other podcasts that you would absolutely enjoy at himedia.gg/podcasts or wherever you get your pods. And if and only if you have the financial wherewithal to do so, please consider going and subscribing on our Ko-Fi for $3 a month at himedia.gg/perks. Doing so gets you a ton of awesome perks that you get, all serviced through our wonderful Discord community, which you should absolutely join at the link down below. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been HIMediaTV. I have been your host, Evan from HIMediaTV, and I will see you guys next time.